Hello and welcome! Today we're diving into one of humanity's oldest, most powerful relationships, our connection to the sun. Since, well, forever, we've looked up at that star for a lot more than just warmth and a good tan. We've seen a source of wisdom, a map for the soul, and yeah, a reflection of the divine itself.
And it all kicks off with a really fascinating puzzle. I mean, how is it possible that ancient cultures, we're talking Egypt, the high Andes, Northern Europe, people who supposedly never met, all built these massive, incredible monuments that are perfectly aligned to the sun's journey? And why do their biggest, most important myths all feature these hero gods whose lives seem to trace the exact same path as the sun through the seasons? The answer? Well, it might just change how you see the entire ancient world.
Because what if, and this is a big what if it wasn't a coincidence? What if it's all evidence of a single, worldwide spiritual tradition? A universal belief system that some call the religion of the sun. Now, if that's true, it doesn't just connect a few dots. It basically reframes our whole understanding of history.
Okay, so to really get this, we have to wrap our heads around a super important distinction. The ancients, apparently, didn't just worship that big hot ball of fire in the sky. No, they saw two suns. There was the outer, physical sun, the one that gives us heat and light and life. But the real object of their worship, the one they were truly in awe of, was the spiritual sun, an inner, divine source of consciousness and wisdom that they believed was inside every single one of us.
And this is where it gets really interesting. So when you read in ancient texts about a son of God, the idea is that we should really be reading it as son of the sun. This wasn't about a single exclusive person. It was more like a title of achievement, you know? It was given to these incredible spiritual teachers, people like Osiris or Jesus, who had managed to fully awaken and embody that inner spiritual sun within their own consciousness.
Here's a great way to think about it. Imagine all this eternal wisdom is like a single golden lantern. Throughout history, different teachers have picked it up and carried it to help light the way for the rest of us. The person holding the lantern, well, they change. The name, the culture, the time period is different. But the light itself, that eternal spiritual sun, that never changes. It's always the same.
So who were these people carrying the lantern? The sources call them the wisdom bringers, or the architects. And the story goes that these were extraordinary people who showed up all across the globe right after some kind of massive world-altering disaster. They all seem to have the same mission, to rebuild civilization and plant the seeds of this spiritual knowledge all over again.
And I mean, look at this. In Egypt, you've got Osiris teaching people about farming and laws. You jump over to the Americas and there's Viracocha bringing the arts of civilization. Head up to Northern Europe, you get Odin with his mystical runes. And in ancient India, there was Manu setting up social and spiritual rules. Different names, different places, but pretty much the exact same job description. Help humanity get back on its feet.
But hold on, because the similarities go way deeper than that. It wasn't just what they taught that was so similar. It was their actual life stories. All of these wisdom bringers seem to follow an identical symbolic pattern, the classic journey of the solar hero.
And this is the absolute key to the whole thing. Their lives were basically allegories for the sun's journey through the year, which in turn was an allegory for the soul's journey toward enlightenment. I mean, think about it. So many of these figures, Jesus, Mithras, Osiris, are said to be born on the winter solstice, right? The darkest day of the year. It's the birth of light in the darkness. Then they're resurrected around the spring equinox when life returns. And they reach their full power at the summer solstice, the point of maximum light. It's a roadmap. The parallels in the symbols are they're stunning. Take the world tree, this idea of a central pillar connecting heaven and earth. In Egypt, for Osiris, it was the Jed pillar. For Odin and the Norse, it was the famous tree Yggdrasil. And for Jesus, it became the cross. And get this, according to the sources, these are all just different versions of a single ancient symbol for the human spine, as a kind of antenna for spiritual energy. Wild, right? Okay, so if this ancient global system was a real thing, you've got to ask, where's the proof? Well, the sources say it's literally all around us, encoded in giant stone structures on one hand, and in living spiritual traditions that still honor the sun on the other. Let's start with the stone. Picture this. You're in Ireland, at an ancient tomb called Newgrange. This place is older than the pyramids, and it was built so precisely that for just a few minutes on the winter solstice, the darkest day of the year, a single beam of sunlight shoots down a long, narrow passageway and just floods the inner chamber with this brilliant golden light. Now, let's jump halfway across the planet to Bolivia. There, you'll find the incredible sun gate at Tiwanaku. And guess what?
It is perfectly aligned to mark the sunrise on the exact same day, the winter solstice. It's just a silent message carved in stone.
And we see it again, this time in Mexico, at Chichen Itza. The Great Pyramid there puts on this incredible show of light and shadow during the solstices. You see, these aren't just random cool-looking buildings. It really seems like they're all part of some vast global network of sacred clocks, all built by these architects of the sun.
And the legacy isn't just in stone, it's alive in spirit too. This is a line from the Gayatri Mantra. It's one of the oldest, most sacred prayers in the Vedic tradition, and millions of people still chant it every single day at sunrise. And just listen to the words. It's not a prayer to the physical star. It's asking that inner, divine sun to brilliantly illuminate our understanding. It is a direct, living echo of this ancient global tradition.
So all of this brings us right back to that central mystery. Are all these incredible parallels, the myths, the stones, the spiritual practices, are they just the scattered breadcrumbs of some forgotten global civilization? Or is it something even deeper, a universal truth that's sort of written into the human soul, something we just keep rediscovering over and over, every time we look up at the sky and deep within ourselves? Maybe the answer is written in the light.